Hi there, this is Eshu. I'm the abbot here at Zenwest Buddhist Society. This Living Zen-podcast is just one of the many resources we've created at Zenwest to make Zen practice and training more available and accessible to people all over the world. Instructional videos, printable resources, and much, much more are also available on our website at www.zenwest.ca. If you're a regular listener, I'd love to hear from you. So please drop me an email at office@zenwest.ca and let me know who you are, how you got started, and what brought you to Zen. Everything we make available in person and online at Zenwest is only possible because of the support of our members and associates, people like you. If the efforts of our community are making a difference in your life, I'd like to invite you to show your support and take part in making it happen by becoming an associate or member of the Zenwest Sangha. You can do this by clicking the Join Us tab on our website at www.zenwest.ca. Thank you for your support, and thanks for listening.
On Sunday, we had our annual commitment ceremony. I think probably many of you were present. 4 of our members took the precepts, did the Jukai ceremony. So this is receiving the precepts. And quite a number of people in the community who were present reaffirmed their commitment to these guidelines, these precepts. My understanding of the precepts is that they encourage ethical behavior which serves as maybe as preparing the ground for what is to grow there. Living an ethical life as a foundational piece of our Zen practice, our Buddhist practice, or whatever practice. There's nothing magical about Buddhism. Well, maybe there is, but all, as far as I know, major spiritual traditions embody ethical guidelines. The first Sila is affirm life in the context that we celebrate it. Affirm life, do not kill. In the Dharmakaya, there is no killing or not killing, no one to kill, and nothing to be killed. Fully realizing this in the human world gives rise to the mind of compassion. You must embody the mind of compassion. This Sila is very difficult to follow. Do you vow to follow it with all of your will? And if you were at the ceremony, you know that the response was, yes! Yes! Yes, it was. It was exactly that. It was an enthusiastic endorsement of this fundamental guideline. It occurred to me today particularly that there's a lot more going on with this Sila in particular than an enthusiastic yes in a community setting. I had the privilege to be part of a Zenwest fishing club outing, and with 3 others I bobbed around in a small boat for a good part of the day, and we fished. We caught 12 salmon, and I was in a position and took the opportunity to club them, or a number of them, to death, which is the standard practice in this fishing activity. I've never been big on killing animals. And usually when I'm out fishing, which I do occasionally but not frequently, I usually conspire to avoid being the person in charge of dispatching them. I'm not fond of killing explicitly, and I'm not fond of meeting the matter directly. My habit energy is to avoid, is my principal stratagem, I think. I was raised as a city kid and didn't have a lot of experience with life and death of animals or of people, for that matter. And I found myself a few years back with Reverend Soshin. We were up island homesteading. We had rabbits and ducks and goats. And we formed very fond bonds with some of these animals, particularly the goats. And they gave us a lot, and we gave them a lot. They gave us milk, we made cheese and this wonderful gujost stuff from their offerings, and in turn we looked after them to the best of our ability. And that included my killing one of our favorite goats when she came to the end of her life. I didn't expect this to be as reactivating, but it certainly was at the time. So this business of killing, how are we to understand it? Perhaps understand is the wrong word here. On an understanding level, it's a no-win situation. We need to kill something, plants or animals or both, in order to eat, to live, or if we don't do it explicitly, we have to have someone else do our bidding for us. And if we elect not to eat, then we end up killing ourselves. So at the level of understanding, this Sila is more than difficult to follow. For me, I think the power in the Sila is to engage with it. As I was thanking and striking the fish today, I thought of this ceremony and of this Sila. And while it didn't make it any easier at the time, I think on reflection, I'm glad that I took the responsibility to engage directly in this matter. From time to time I eat meat, and I don't have to be so connected with the killing involved. Someone else does that for me. The meat shows up in a nice vacuum-packed package. So if we don't engage with this at an understanding level, how are we to engage with it? I very much appreciate the fact that there's more to our formulation of this Sila than just do not kill. The business afterwards, in the Dharmakaya, there's no killing or not killing. No one to kill and nothing to be killed. How do we reconcile that? As far as I can tell, it is not a carte blanche for killing. I take it as an invitation to go beyond everyday understanding, to perhaps wrestle with it, but not in the sense of thinking it to death. Rather, to take it up in this practice context. We're here. We settle down. We find a stillness in which a larger context can be recognized. These words that go with the Sila, I see as an invitation to go beyond the everyday, not to ignore the everyday, to include the everyday in a larger context, which context is most easily and repeatably accessed through stilling our minds and our bodies here in this practice. Just settling down with awareness and seeing what arises. Allowing the awareness to permeate our whole lives. I think it's, for me anyway, particularly easy to have a little awareness when I'm clubbing an animal to death. I don't think I want to say any more about that, just to welcome you all here, encourage you in your various practices, congratulate those members who have stepped up to a higher level of commitment, and to pledge my support for each of you however I can serve you through this practice. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Living Zen podcast. If you follow Living Zen through iTunes, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a moment to let me know what you think about it by rating or reviewing the podcast, so that new listeners can also hear what you have to say. Thank you for your time and for your support.